Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining tonight. We'll give other folks just a few more minutes to join and then we will get started. People are trickling in. It's great to see. Well, let's give it a couple more minutes. It's 6:30 on a Wednesday. People are probably running all around, so I want to give everybody time to join.
Having dinner.
Getting there though.
Slow and steady.
Well,
Mhm.
instead. Mhm. And okay, I think that's a good amount to get started. Hello and welcome. Once again, thank you everyone for being here. You may notice at the bottom of your Zoom screen, there's a little button that says Q&A. If you have any questions, please feel free to type it right into there, and we'll be watching that and be sure to answer your questions. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Stephanie and John.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to join us. I'm going to introduce myself, and then John will introduce himself, and we'll get going. I'm Stephanie Barksdale. I'm the executive director of the Connecticut Youth Leadership Project, which is the parent of the Connecticut Youth Leadership Forum. John?
Good evening, folks. My name is John Gentile. I'm the president and co-founder of the Connecticut Youth Leadership Project. We've been around for 28 years, a long time. Started when I was 6, and this will be our 27th forum. We skipped a year because of COVID, those COVID years, as we all remember. So, Stephanie, do you want me to kick it off or?
Yes, go ahead, John.
Okay, well, just to give a little background, a little history of the forum started uh, when Susanna Lickerman came to the State Rehab Council when John Halliday, a name I'm not sure if Stephanie Knight knows or remembers. John Halliday was the BRS director, and Suzanne asked if we could put a team together and take a look at the California youth leadership model, uh, which meant we had to go out, fly out. The government, she was going to fly out on the federal government's dime, and I ended up flying out on BRS's dime, so which was good. But we both went out and we worked as staff for the first forum that we attended out in California. And we found the experience very enlightening because the entire group of students that they had there were all students with disabilities, all different types of disabilities. And it was a good project. We were brought out there to see if we could replicate the model and bring it back to Connecticut. We came back, we powwowed with folks in the governor's committee, the state rehab council, and a few other folks from around the state. And we were said, yeah, well, I think we could pull this off. Connecticut is a pretty uh, lucrative or very r rich state. And we said we should be able to raise the funds necessary to conduct that forum. So we put the group together. It took us 2 years to uh, bring the forum uh, to excuse me, fruition. We started in 1997, as I said. We went out to California in 1998. Uh, Karen Halliday and myself went out to California to be trained for 2 days. Came back, we had the manual. We incorporated the manual into a forum designed for Connecticut, and our first forum kicked off in July of 1999. And we had 25 students that first forum, and we had probably 10 staff working with us. So went well. It was hard work. We didn't know what we were doing, but we worked. We pulled it off. We had a good forum, a good group of attendees. Two of the delegates came back the next year. They liked it so much, and one became an ambassador to YLF, John Benderitis' son Joe, who we've named the scholarship after. So, and the rest is history. So, and we conduct a forum every year. We missed only that one year in 2020 because of COVID. And right now we're looking for staff to continue the forum. Stephanie, you want to pick up?
Yeah, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about the forum and what we do each day with the delegates. And this, just a reminder, this is a forum for high school kids with disabilities or different abilities, as I like to say. So we start training the staff on the Sunday before, so Sunday, July 26th. So as a staff member, we would expect you to be there starting at 2 o'clock on that Sunday at Yukon stores. And we train you from about 2 o'clock right till about 10 o'clock. We do have breaks, we do get dinner, and you will stay on campus Sunday night, and we'll stay Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and leave on Thursday, just so you know it's an overnight forum for staff and delegates. On Monday, the delegates arrive. They usually arrive by 10:30. They arrive with mom and dad or a guardian and lots of luggage and lots of fear and tears because in some cases they've never left home before, so this is their first opportunity to be away from home and on a college campus. And so they're a little nervous, and as staff, we take them in right away and show them to their room and help them unpack or get ready for that day. And then we take them to the student union, and that's where we pretty much train for the entire time that we're there. We do delegate orientation. We do a yeah, I'm losing my mind. We've given them an opportunity to get to know each other through an icebreaker exercise. And then we have lunch in the student union. Pretty much every day we have lunch in the student union. They go downstairs to the cafeteria. Everything's paid for. They don't have to pay for anything except if they want to take a sweatshirt or t-shirt home when they're done at the end of the forum. And we have a keynote speaker who also has a disability, but has worked very hard to overcome that disability to be successful in whatever career they've chosen. This year we have a gentleman who is an autism advocate, and he travels the country speaking on behalf of autism associations. And I think the delegates will find him quite inspiring. Monday night we have a talent show, and so Monday night we get the kids together and we ask, what kind of talent do you have? Are you a dancer? Do you sing? Do you play piano? Are you a juggler? Do you have jokes you want to tell? And we really encourage the delegates to show off their talent because they really are quite talented in many cases. And so it's great for them to have the opportunity to show off in front of their peers what they can do. Tuesday we have breakfast and dinner in the cafeteria in Yukon, and then we use the life course planning program. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but that's the sort of the program we're teaching these delegates to work with, and that's to help them determine what they want to do when they get out of high school, whatever it may be, whether it's go off to college or join the army or just become the best bagger at Stop and Shop. We teach them to take the steps that they need to learn to get that job. And then we do a team building opportunity with the Yukon police, and sometimes they bring their dogs, and we get to cuddle up with their dogs towards the end of the team building. but it's really a good opportunity we break them up into 4 teams. And so it's a really good opportunity to trust their team members, to learn to trust them and to learn to, play with them in the team building opportunity. And then Tuesday night is the talent show. So hopefully they have had an opportunity to practice and they show off their talents to us. And some of the talent that we've had is amazing. We've had, you know, really good singers. We've had some really good dancers. And we've had some folks that probably would be voted off American Idol, but that's okay. That's part of the fun.
We believe it or not, we had one student who was nominated for a Grammy with Dolly
That's
Parton.
right.
Yeah, he and
So
Dolly Parton produced the
that's
song, and he was nominated for a Grammy. So
see what you can do. And then on Wednesday, we do a community service project. We go off campus because it's not just about us, it's about the whole community. And so we teach them, to really look out for their fellow man. So we go off campus and we work at either a soup kitchen or a farm, and they do some hands-on stuff. They help sort out produce and some pack some lunches for the folks who are the clients of both places. And it just gives them, again, an opportunity to see the world outside of what they may have seen in school so far. Um, then we come back to the campus and we do some more life course planning. And that night we have a dance, and the kids really dress up and they really do get out and shake their booty on the dance floor and really have a good chance to get to see each other's dance moves and really bond a little bit more. Thursday's kind of a bittersweet day because it's the last day. And so the kids that were showing up on Monday, sort of crying because they were, sad about leaving mom and dad behind, are now crying because they don't want to go home. They've had such a great time. They met some new friends. And it's sort of bittersweet that they finally, after that nice long week, have to go home and start their, real life again. Um, we and then they do it at the luncheon. They get up and they speak about what they learned at the forum. So the parents get to hear what their children were doing for the past week because they may not understand what the forum's all about, but the kids get up and tell them what it's all about. And then they leave us and hopefully share their experience with their peers when they get back to their various schools. So we're looking for, and John and I can discuss this with you as well. We're looking for counselors who are sort of the lead members of the team. We are looking for program assistants who assist the delegates. In some cases, the delegates are, they're blind, so they can't see the document in front of them. So we have to tell them, we're on page 9, and this is what's on page 9, and we read to them what's on there. We ask for evaluations, and so they have to fill the evaluations out. In some cases, they can't. So we, as a program assistant, we're looking for them to help the student fill out the evaluation, things like that. And I think we're looking pretty much for 2 to 1, right? 2 delegates to 1 staff. So if we get 40 delegates, which is about where we are this year, we're looking for about 20 staff. So John, you want to fill in any more on that?
uh, well, the counselors that we like to have there are individuals with disabilities. Meaning that the person who the lead in the team leader, counselor, co-counselor, are individuals with disabilities. It makes it a lot easier for the delegates to interact and relate with. The support staff, you don't have to have a disability. Just people that are there to help and support in any way that we feel necessary, or however the forum dictates, the support that you need to give. As Stephanie mentioned, maybe assist in reading some documents that are not accessible to the student, helping them with some technology that they may have or bring along with them, things of that nature. So that's what support staff do. But the counselors and co-counselors are individuals that we believe or we feel should have a disability. It don't have to be an apparent disability. You could be someone that has a disability that's not apparent. And because you'll be discussing that in the team, and whatever said in the team during the team is very confidential. So if you as a counselor want to disclose your disability, you can. Uh, of course, the students, we know that they are individuals with disabilities, and because that's all we take are students with disabilities. So, Stephanie?
And I see somebody put a question in the chat about credentials and education. The only credential we really ask for is that you are out of high school at least for 2 years. There's no real educational requirement in terms of you have to have a degree in education. We have the curriculum already worked out. So you're really just going off the curriculum we have, and you're not, you're not teaching them anything different other than what we have in the curriculum. What we try to teach is leadership, self-advocacy, and that type of stuff. So as long as you can, work with our manual, it's pretty well worked out. As John said, this is our 27th year, and we've tweaked the manual every so often, but it's worked out very well over the years. So it's pretty well set in stone what we do.
Um, there were also a couple questions in the Q&A. Um, one was asking for clarification, is the opportunity only for high schoolers?
It's for 16 to 22, but they have to either be in high school or in a transition program with at least 1 year left because we want them to learn and then go back and share with their peers what they learned. So they in turn become leaders in their school around this sort of programming.
Great. And then the other question was, are the staff required to stay overnight?
Yes. And the reason for that is, this population looks for consistency. And a couple of years ago, some staff members did not want to stay overnight, and we didn't stop them from not staying overnight, but the students look for them. And they say, why is John not at the dance? And John's my leader, he's not here. So we try to provide as much consistency in what the kids experience, as well as the education. So yes, it's a requirement to stay overnight, but we pay for everything. So if and the beds at UConn are so comfy. But we provide the bedding. Sorry, we provide the room and the food. So there's really no expense to doing so.
Thank you. There is another question in the chat. Have you already chosen all the candidates? Can we still let our students at school know about your program?
So John would never say no, but we are sort of in the process. So unless you know some student who is, like this, like they're a junior and this is the only opportunity, submit the application and we'll look at it. But we are already sort of pretty far along in the process.
Yeah. We're also about 2 to 3 weeks behind in the process. I believe it or not, it's a 4-day program for the students, a 5-day program for staff, but it takes us 10 months of planning to do it. So in the planning stages that we're in right now, we're behind about 3 weeks. So if, like Stephanie said, if there's somebody that's got one more year left of school, and they're eager to come, have them put that application in right away. If there's somebody that still has a couple of years left in school and they're 16 now or 17 now, they can apply next year.
Thank you. Oh, we have more questions. What are the dates we would be on UConn campus?
So as staff, you would be there July 26th through the 30th, and we're typically done around 2:30 or so on Thursday. So it'd be like 2 o'clock on the 26th or about 2:30 on the 30th.
Okay. And then can you clarify the time commitment? It's from Sunday morning between 10 and 11 a.m. until Thursday evening, sometimes 4 to 6 p.m. Does that sound correct?
So it's Sunday afternoon. You can get on campus anytime from noon from 12 o'clock on. We start our training at 2 on Sunday, and we're typically done around, like I said, 2:30 or so on Thursday.
Okay. Another question. Is the facility wheelchair accessible and would it be easy for the individual to move around?
Mhm.
It is wheelchair accessible. And as far as I know, easy to move around. I'm not in a wheelchair, so I'm just going based on having had students and staff in wheelchairs before that they have not complained about not being able to get around. Understand that Yukon stores is always under construction. So often there are sidewalks that are a little bumpy, but there are ways to get around. And we have buses if you need a bus, as you can't get there, on foot or in a wheelchair. Um, if you are in a wheelchair and you need a handicap accessible room, that might be an issue because we have to have handicap accessible rooms available for delegates first. But if you don't need a handicap accessible room, then it's not an issue. Just be aware of that.
So wheelchair accessible rooms are available on a first come, first serve basis for delegates.
Yes,
And you do your best to then also try to accommodate potential staff.
correct. Has everybody been on our site to see our video? That might be a good opportunity for if you have, not that I want to stop your questions, absolutely keep questioning, but um, we did a video a couple years ago. It's about 5 minutes long and it really shows you what happens at the forum. So if you haven't had a chance, by all means, go to ctylp.org and take a look at the video.
Excellent. Next question. Who can we email directly to ask further questions about this?
You can email either John or me. My email is execdir@ctylp.org. And John?
Mine is jmgsr1550 at AOL.com. Just another uh, item. The only thing that we don't pay for, we pay for everything. The only thing we don't pay for is transportation to and from the campus. We pay for parking on campus. Campus provide, you have to pay for parking on campus, but staff and uh, staff for YLF for the whole time that they're with us, you'll park for free. So there's no issue with parking. Uh, the only thing you need to do is provide your own transportation to and from campus. Any transportation during the forum, we'll provide. We do go out to the community activity by bus. As Stephanie pointed out, if there's individuals that have a physical disability that prevents them from walking any kind of a distance, or it may be in a wheelchair that uh, they're unable to navigate the campus, we'll provide a van for them to get to and from the student union. So,
Excellent. Another question. Would it be possible to apply even if I'm on an H-2B visa working for a school district?
I don't know why not. I've never had that question before. But I don't know why not. We don't discriminate based on anything. So I, I guess we'd have to ask somebody, but there's no reason I can think of. John, is there anything you can think of?
no, I would say it shouldn't be an issue. If you're employed in a school district, should not be an issue.
Any other questions?
Oh, one more.
We have a thank you. Oh, here we go. What does the salary look like for these positions? Is it hourly or a flat rate? How is the salary determined?
That's a
You want
John
me to,
question.
you want me
Yeah,
to
that's
answer?
a
That's a
John
John
question.
question. Generally, the board of directors and the executive committee make a decision as to what the salary will be. We, just so that everyone's aware, we haven't paid staff for the entire time that we've had YLFs. It's only in the past few years that we were paying staff, and not all the staff. I think last year was the first year we paid the entire staff. So the salary is based on the counselors would receive the highest amount because they have to do the most work. They're coordinating the program. They're the team leader for each team, etc. The support staff and co-counselors would get the same amount of money. And the PCAs, they're paid as a PCA rate, whatever we have to hire a PCA at, whatever that rate is. We don't know what that is. But all the staff that come to the forum pretty much get the same salary except the nurse, the counselors, and that's it. So the nurse would get her rate. The counselors, I believe we paid 2,000 last year for counselors and 1,500 for support staff.
And PCAs, by the way, are personal care assistants, if you're not aware, because we have some delegates who need help with everyday activities. And so we have to pay the personal care assistant to come and help them with those everyday activities.
If there's anyone here on here that is a PCA, a certified PCA, let us know right away because we're going to be looking for at least one, maybe two PCAs so far this year.
Or if you know a PCA, please have them reach out to Stephanie and John. Another question, is this an employment opportunity or volunteering that is compensated or stipend for tax purposes? Thanks.
It's really a stipend for tax purposes because it's only a week long or 4 day long program. So it's really a stipend.
Any other questions?
If not, you have both John's and my email. I really encourage you to go on, if you have not seen the video, go on and check it out. And again, if you have questions after you see it, reach out to us. And we really appreciate you. Oh, I see a question popping up, but we really appreciate you taking the time to listen and share this information with your peers. And maybe it doesn't work out for you, but it works out for somebody that's in your peer group. So please, share the information as best you can.
Okay, there are two more questions.
Mhm.
How do you handle individuals with food allergies?
So as part of the process of getting to know the delegates, we ask them what their medical issues are, what their any food issues. We have gluten-free, we have allergens. Yukon Stores is not nut-free, but they do tell us what might contain nuts and what to avoid in that instance. We also work very closely with our liaison at the school. So if somebody has a food allergy or a food issue, she will let us know to who the kitchen manager is that day or during that time, so that they can work with the students to make sure that they avoid whatever allergen they may have. It is, part of what we want to do is we're teaching these kids that to be somewhat independent. So we don't monitor what they eat, but we do tell them what they should avoid if they have some sort of allergen.
And I'm assuming if there was a staff with an allergen, you would connect them with who they needed to speak with at
Same,
Mhm.
UConn.
Yeah.
yes, same thing. Yeah.
Excellent. Second question. It's 2,000 for counselors and 1,500 for the supporting staff, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
Excellent. And then the last one is just a comment. Thank you so much for the information. Well, thank you for joining us tonight.
Right on. And sometimes we get to see the basketball players, by the way. So if you're into Yukon Huskies
Hmm.
basketball, look up.
And a
Sometimes, go
couple
ahead,
times
Steph.
Jonathan has the
Oh,
Husky has
Jonathan shows,
visited,
yep.
correct?
Yeah.
Yep,
Oh, yeah.
Jonathan shows up. Well, there's several Jonathans, but yeah, one or two have shown up over the years. So,
Jonathan the 28th. I don't know.
well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know which one it is.
But you're right. There are several Jonathans. Oh, another question. To be a counselor, do you need to have experience working with people that have disabilities?
I don't, it doesn't hurt, but you don't need to. But we do ask that the counselor have a disability themselves. Um, I think part of being able to work with kids with disabilities is you share with them your disability, so they say, "Oh, okay, you're like me. You're like who I am." But you don't have to have any experience necessarily working with them. Doesn't hurt, but you don't have to.
And then the support staff don't need to have a disability at all.
Correct. But if they
No,
have it, that's fine too.
Okay.
right.
And then sorry, just one more quick question. Is the
Keep asking.
PCA rate the same as the support staff, or is that a different rate?
That's a negotiated rate.
Fair enough.
Okay.
What would be the next steps if I'm interested in being considered?
So again, go to our website and you'll see staff application. I believe it says staff application. Click on it, fill it out, and email it to me and or John, and we'll take it from there.
I just want to just say one more thing, I guess. One of the things that we try to do is we instill in the students social interaction. We're big on students socially interacting with one another and also with the staff. We also want to ensure and make sure that we all respect one another. The staff respect staff, and of course, staff respect students. So that goes without saying, really. But the other thing we strive for is we don't want to be helicopter staff. They have helicopter parents. We want to get away from that. We want to give them as much freedom and independence as possible. But they're someone else's child, and we have to keep an eye on them. So we have to be vigilant. We have to remain on guard all the time. We have to keep our eyes wide open to make sure that our group stays with the group, that each student is where they're supposed to be, but we don't want to hover. So it's going to be a tricky thing for some individuals. Other individuals handle it very well. So, but that's what we strive for, to give them as much freedom and independence as possible.
Like we said, if you have more questions, by all means, ask them tonight. But if you think of something like 3 o'clock in the morning, call John, and then and then email me the next day. And we'll be happy to answer whatever questions you may have after, like I said, after you've seen the video, after you've thought about it. Um, you know, please reach back out.
And then Stephanie, just to confirm, application deadline for staff is May 31st, correct?
I believe, yeah, sooner rather than later. Yes, yeah.
Oh, another question. When you refer to staff, what other positions do you mean in addition to PCA? I do not have a disability and I'm trying to understand what roles I might be considered for.
So without a disability, you would most likely be a program support person, which would, again, where we have, delegates who may not be able to because they're blind, they can't see. You might have to read them what the curriculum is that day, or you may have to read to them um, the evaluation questions and help them complete the evaluations each day. They may need help. Um, they may need help grabbing their lunch because they just can't physically do it. And really, I think as John said, socializing with them, um, making sure they're okay, making sure they're safe. It's all about safety. Make sure they're not doing something inappropriate. We do not separate the boys and the girls during the day. They obviously do not sleep together in the same room in the dorm, but these are teenagers and they're home away from home, and they sometimes act like teenagers, so we have to make sure they're not doing inappropriate things when we're not in the sort of the classroom settings. So really supporting the activities, supporting the counselors, that type of stuff.
Think of it like a paraprofessional that supports the teacher. The program staff or program support person are supporting the counselors.
hmm But you'll watch them and see that, in other words, the other thing that we also, Stephanie didn't mention, we also give you two t-shirts. So,
Right.
you come to the forum, you get the t-shirts.
I don't even have a t-shirt.
Well, we'll have to
Come
Wow.
to
get
the
you one.
forum.
I guess I have to come to the forum. All right. Another
But
question.
yeah, but what
Oh, go ahead.
before you do that, I just wanted to say that as a staff person, regular staff, you'll make sure that the student is eating, making sure they're behaving properly in the cafeteria, that kind of thing as a support staff person. Some folks, believe it or not, the Yukon doesn't have any trays to carry your food. So you have to go up individually to get if you want your meat and potatoes, you go to one spot with a dish, and if you want the dessert, you got to go someplace else with another dish. So this gets a little awkward and confusing. So you may need to help and assist that way with some of the students. So, but and then in the classroom, as Stephanie pointed out, you may need to assist them because we do everything we can to accommodate students with disabilities, making sure that if someone reads Braille, we get them Braille. But not every document is a Braille document, so they may need some help with that. So,
And it's kind of like herding cats. Again, they're teenagers away from home, and oh, what squirrel! And we need to make sure they they stay together in their group and don't go off on their own. We haven't lost anybody yet. We don't want to lose anybody.
I don't
So
want that
really,
phone call.
really just keeping everybody together.
What are the main disabilities of campers that are usually present?
Oh, it runs the gamut. Autism, ADHD, intellectual disabilities, uh, cerebral palsy. It
visual,
runs the
visual,
gamut.
yeah.
But visual, hearing. The only disability we really can't handle is if they're so medically needy. We don't have the personnel that can handle that. But otherwise, we provide the PCAs. If they need a Hoya lift to get in and out of bed, we provide that. Um, so it just if the disability is so difficult that we can't do it, not that we don't want to, um, we just it's just too short a time period for us to bring in all the staff or something like that.
Okay. Last question. What is the role of the counselor?
So so the counselor is kind of the leader of the pack. They review the delegate manuals every day and make sure that the delegates are up to speed with what's happening. They communicate with their team. They ensure that group rules are followed. Um, Again, we have boys and girls, so we discuss sexual harassment and understand that that's not appropriate at our forum. They act as role models and leaders because again, they have a disability. So we want them to talk about their disability and how they've overcome it if they have. Um, they discuss the barriers to perhaps that they have overcome to get to where they are in their careers. They facilitate the activities. I'm reading down the list, that's how I know all this. They make sure that if the delegate has an assistive technology unit, that it's working, that they know how to work it, and if it's not working, they let us know so we can make sure we get it, up and working for them. They lead the discussions, but they don't monopolize them. So they lead the discussion, but they let each delegate speak and on their own behalf. So it's not like I'm saying to you, you're doing X. They let the delegate, speak on their own behalf. They make sure everybody is participating in all the activities, whether it's the classroom work or the team building work or the community building. They make sure everybody's participating and can participate. Um, it's a pretty extensive list of things that they do, but it's all very important. And every piece in this is, from the counselor, the co-counselor to the program assistant, every piece is sort of a cog in this wheel. And if they're not moving smoothly, you know what happens.
They're also required to give feedback on each student, evaluate the student at the end of the program, so that we can make our reports to our sponsors to make sure that everything is done properly. So that's why they have they're more responsible for things. So that's why they get the big bucks. But the guy that gets paid the most, the guy that gets paid the most is me. And Stephanie says I can double my salary next year. So I'm going to go from 0 to double 0.
Wow. That's pretty good, John. You
Yeah,
gave
I
yourself a
know.
raise?
It's a good
Yeah,
deal. Good deal.
yeah.
Um, what is the average range of the typical counselor or co-counselor for this camp?
What do you mean by range? Age range?
Age range. Sorry, maybe I missed that word. It is in there.
Oh, wow. I think we run the gamut there too. I think we've got counselors who are in their, well, maybe they started in their 30s, they might be 40 now, up to up to probably I know we have one retiree, so probably 65 or so. And that's part of the reason we're reaching out to get new staff because um, we're all getting older and our staff has been around with us for a long time and they're getting older and we love them. But at some point they may say to us, I'm done. And we don't want to be in that position where we can't put the form on because we don't have any staff. So we don't have any age range that we're looking for, but if we get some younger folks that will take over at some point, that would be great.
Any other questions?
Think that might be it.
Oh,
I guess
Um,
I guess Emily, before you go on, I guess I would say like we do have your contact information. Thank you for signing up. But I think you probably should reach out to us rather than us reach out to you so that if you're interested, even if it's just again ask us a question, reach out and if you want to apply, reach out because we don't want to assume that everybody is, you know, it is gonna be interested. So I think it's on you guys to say, okay, send me more information or here's my question. Is that fair?
Very fair. And you're getting some thank yous in the Q&A.
Love it.
you're welcome. You're more than welcome. Thank you all.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, one more question. Is there any further job that getting involved with this camp could probably open up for the future?
I don't know. I mean, maybe Stephanie, that's a question for you because we're the forum. We are looking at adding post-form activities, but we're not there yet. So maybe BRS has openings. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think this could be the start for a lot of individuals going into human service careers, social work careers, mental health, counseling, education. We have community rehabilitation providers who provide employment services for individuals with disabilities, and getting them acclimated to the job site, that we could definitely get you connected to if you ended up working here at YLF and you ended up liking it. I can tell you for a fact that we have an individual who not only who attended the forum as a delegate, but I believe was also a staff. He then became a counselor here at BRS. He is now a supervisor here at BRS. He's definitely, moved up over the years, is very well liked, and is very well known in the field and in his community. So I do think there's a lot of job opportunity, and just opportunities in general should you get connected with Youth Leadership Forum.
And somebody added in the chat that it would also be a great experience for a paraprofessional and that
Mhm.
school systems are looking for paras. So it
Yep.
definitely could be a resume builder.
Just someone mentioned age, our minimum age for a staff person is 20. You have to be 20. That's a hard and fast rule, and you have to be 2 years out of college. Other than that, there is no age requirement other than that. The other thing on post forum activities, uh, I've been I'm a co-founder, been doing the whole program for 28 years, and that's something that I've been trying to work for. We work towards doing post YLF activities, follow-ups with students. Also, I'm looking at following up with students and their families. The family education is so necessary for students with disabilities, and this is something that we've been brainstorming about for past couple of years. So, but at one time we did do follow-ups uh, for a few years. We did have community activity follow-ups. So, but we're going to get back to that.
2 years out of high school. Yeah. 2 years out of high school. 20 and 2 years out of high school.
Okay, so there's
Somebody
a
asked that
question.
question.
There's a
Go ahead.
question in the chat. What if I were 2 years out of high school but only 19? Would I be able to apply for a role
No,
Next year.
next year? Okay.
Yeah.
Um, and do you have to be 2 years out of high school or college? It's two
Yes.
years out
Two
of
years out
high
of
school.
high school.
did
Yeah.
I say college?
You did, but that's okay.
Sorry, I made a mistake.
We'll let it slide just this once, but if it
Okay.
happens again, John, it's not going to be 0 for
I was
salary
gonna
next
say,
year.
we're taking away the double.
It'll be minus zero.
Just make it a zero. Emily, I think you can close it out now.
Okay. Well, again, thank you everyone for your time. Please reach out to Stephanie or John with any other questions, and maybe we'll see you at the forum this year.
Thank you all.
That'd be great. Stephanie Knight, they want you to share your email.
I see that. Emily, I believe
Yep.
you are the only one who can type in the chat. So, if you do you want me to send it to
Nope.
you? You got
I
it?
can get to it pretty quickly.
Okay.
See, it's the double Stephanie factor. I wasn't sure which Stephanie's email they wanted. And there's Stephanie Knight's email in the chat. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a great evening.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everybody.